Right, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. There we go. How are you? Let's get our guests over here. We are going live talking about the Haven memberships. So good to be here with all of you. And let me just pull up comments. Oh, let's do that. All right. Yay. Hi. How are you? Let's get you guys in here. Hi, Anne. Hi, Ruby. I'm going to give a quick introduction because we just jumped on here. Tell everyone what we're doing, and then we will get started. All right, so welcome. We are talking all things Haven, the Haven membership. I wanted to bring on some of our current Haven members. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're here to talk about exactly what you get in the Haven, how it's different from other memberships or online yoga classes, apps, etc. And I thought the best way to do that is to really have our members talk about their experience and what it is. Sometimes I think what we're doing over here is a little hard to put into words. So welcome. I'm so excited. Let me get the link up here and I'll put it for all of you in the comments. And let me add, let's do this. There we go. All right. So Ruby, I would love to start with you since you were our first on here. You're like our OG. I'm just going to get you to unmute. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm up at Hastings in my mother-in-law's place, and I said I'll just take the call while celebrating with family and eclipse and relationships right now. So
Totally.
it's just spending time with family in a special time of the lunar and solar stuff that's going on with us.
Yeah, so powerful this morning, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Definitely.
fun. I would love for you to tell everyone just a little bit about you, who you are, and your Haven membership. But start by telling us who you are and what you do in the world.
Okay. My name is Ruby Grace. I'm a yoga teacher and I am a civil servant. So it was only by chance in 2018 when I volunteered at the Toronto Yoga Conference that I met Ashley and has been with Ashley and am a graduate of her YPS Live. And with the pivot that everyone has gone through as a yoga teacher, there were a lot of shifts and changes. It's not asana based anymore. With Ashley's training anyway, over the years, it's the whole, it's not only the spiritual, but the aspects of how yoga psychology really helped me. And I've been with her because, put it this way, my story is from breakdown to breakthrough. When Ashley met me, I was very much broken from my depression, and I still have my anxiety and bouts of it. But because of the practices that I learned from her over the time, and me being a teacher now sharing my gifts to the world, it was also solidified because of COVID. There was a lot of pivots, like I said, and the Haven membership has really given me that connection again with the community that understands where I'm coming from, why the practice works, and why it's not just asana based. So that's the gifts that, having been mentored by Ashley over the years live, and then because I'm in Canada and she's so far away, the Haven was just giving me that connection and that community. And to this date, like, Elisa, one of Haven members as well, I met her live in training, and we're both in Canada, though a little bit like 6 hours apart. We still get to develop that connection, and I've maintained those relationships from YPS and now with a bigger community with Haven. And it's just been wonderful to just tap into it again and just really get connected with community. So that's my spill.
I would love to hear a little bit about what's different, because I know you've taken many other yoga teacher trainings and been in other groups, and sort of what's a different flavor or some of the attributes that you get from this membership and this group and the way that we connect.
Well, the one that is really apart sets Ashley and the Haven membership apart. I've done other memberships as well and other trainings, like Ashley said. It's the fact that there is real community, and it's a deeper kind of community because we get to share really our heart truths, meaning to say it's that authenticity that comes out in the relationships and being vulnerable, not only as a person, but also as a light worker, as a yoga teacher. And the practices that Ashley taught over the years for the priestess training, that's what I get to tap in the Haven membership, like the cycles of the ceremonies and the priestess ones. That is really close to my heart. I grew up with something like that back home in the Philippines, and it was a missing aspect for me, in terms of, okay, it's just another yoga class. You go into a studio, you get your practice, but then again, the full ceremony, even though I'm not together live practicing, the mere fact that I get to do that in different times of the years, the high holy days, that to me is very special. And it really connects different aspects of healing for me. There's not only, like, let's say for oracle cards, but also essential oils, how the practices are really stacked. That's what makes it very different for me.
I love that. Yeah, I would say the Haven, and I talk about this a lot in my work, is sort of this three-pronged influence of the yoga meditation, the depth psychology, shadow work, modern psychology, neuroscience. And then the third one is the priestess work and the ritual and ceremony that we do, and living in alignment with the solar lunar calendars, and just really coming together to celebrate in that tradition of the divine feminine. And I love that. I had someone, I just want to share this with you all because I thought this was really profound. You remember Casey, Ruby?
Yes.
So
She was.
Casey's, yes. So Casey's joining our membership, and she just, let me find it here. Oh, here we go. She just sent me a text, and she was like, actually, this is a really good thing. You should tell people. She said, you are the greatest. Thank you so much. I'm so very excited to be a part of this. I'm literally letting go of like 5 monthly memberships to go all in on the Haven, which is actually, she said, it's actually a great selling point. And hold on, let me get it. So she said, it's actually a great selling point. A lot of people have been signing up for memberships via Substack, Instagram influencers they like, for physical, mental, and spiritual. She said, like, I was literally doing 1 for witchiness, 2 for healing relationships, 2 for physical well-being, plus a group therapy trauma program, trying to piece together everything that you have inside of the Haven. And I love that so much. I thought that was a great sort of synopsis of what we're trying to do here. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, Ali also, Casey and Ali were part of the YPS, the last YPS live that Ashley had. Ali is just she's like probably an hour away from me from where I am, but really maintaining that relationship and the practices that we learned with you. And then even though we're all far apart, we get to still practice with you together. And just like Casey, I let go of other memberships right now to be full committed to this one. So I am grateful for you. Like,
I
you are
love that. I am so grateful to have you here. Thank you so much, Ruby. Anything else you want to share with anyone that's considering joining the Haven?
Don't go on the fence anymore. Like, there is a reason why you're here, why you're kind of dabbling. And once you go full in, that's when the healing actually starts. When you accept the fact that this is where you need to be, there's no questions about it. And that's what I did when I met Ashley the first time. But because the world is so big and the healing is so much needed in the world right now, the Haven is a portal for all of us to really just tap in and be a community. And the prayer group is actually one of the reasons why I keep coming back to it. And guess what? If you miss let's say it's an eclipse, if you missed the restorative yesterday, guess what? It's going to be in the membership and you get to do it. And we're all in it together, though we won't see each other in the practices. We're there. So just go do it.
Thank you so much, Ruby. Okay, feel free to stay on and I'll bring you back on in a minute if you want, or you can jump off as you wish. But thank you so much for taking your time. And I can't wait to see you back in the membership. We're so excited. We're really building it out. We're in like the initial phases of it's just begun. And so I cannot wait to see where this goes and what it wants to be, how we create it. Thank you. All right, let's get Anne on here. Yay. How are you?
I'm good. It's chilly today in the Pacific Northwest, but it's great to be here with you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be on. I'd love for you to tell everyone a little bit about who you are, where you are, what you do, and why you decided to join the Haven.
So I too am a yoga teacher. I am primarily a yin yoga teacher, and I teach both online and a little bit in person, mostly online since the pandemic. And I also develop multi-week courses. I'm developing a teacher training. And I first came to Ashley primarily for business coaching, but we would start out, and this is the great thing about Ashley and Ashley's programs, is we'd start out, well, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to get. But we would immediately get into, a lot of that, the depths of my challenges beneath why things weren't happening or why things weren't happening faster. Some of the kind of core challenges that we all have. And so when I worked with Ashley before the pandemic, and then recently, I guess it was last year, we reconnected. And then in conjunction with the personal one-on-one coaching, I also did the Haven. And there was something about that melding together of having the one-on-one work with this kind of larger container just made the coaching so much more rich. And just, I love having themes to kind of focus my personal practice each week. And so that's, very nice, particularly when the theme continues over multi-weeks. And it just, no matter what, even if it's like a day like, oh, I don't know, I'm not know if I'm like, this is where I'm at right now. Every single time I join a class, I'm like, I always get not just a little nugget, I always get a big nugget, so it just, I'm really kind of fascinated by that. And it's that beautiful blending of, there's physical practice, there's breath work, but the depth, where we go with the self-inquiry. I think you need all of them. You can't, just doing one in isolation doesn't really make the change that can happen when you actually engage the physical body with some psychological processing. I think for me, do you want me to just keep going? I think for me, the things, Ruby alluded to the special practices that we have for the Wheel of the Year. I love those because I love to follow the seasons and ritual. But also each month, that new moon and full moon, if you've never done full moon processing with Ashley, you need to do it immediately. Probably, this month with all these eclipses, because we like pound on pillows and make all kinds of noise, and it's for the full moon, and it's incredibly powerful. And then at those full moon rituals, we also break into smaller groups and process the experience. And I think we all know that probably is what's missing most from most of our lives is community. America, I think, has like the highest level of loneliness in the world. It's so sad. And I have actually developed some friendships literally from the Haven, recently with someone who's close in my area and someone who's in Ireland, and we connect. Actually, I have connected with Allie, who you mentioned, Ruby, and she helped me. So it really is this, there's Ashley who's creating the container, but there's all this other stuff that's happening between us as well. I think I would be amiss if I didn't tell you and really rave about my favorite thing. And it was actually really surprising. And that is the prayer circles. I mean, I actually get very teary, but in the past year, I had a lot of family members who were dealing with cancer. And I remember the first prayer circle I went to, I wrote in the chat, what my intention was. I listened to other people's challenges, and to both bear witness to what people are going through and to have other people bear witness to you, I really think is, such a sacred experience and such a necessary experience. And that is one thing. If you want to talk about what's not happening, I think in other platforms, it's that it's coming together, really harnessing our energy to give love to somebody else. Like, I would just leave and my heart would just be like, whoa, just wide open. And Ashley, I think that is particularly your gift, is like, I could, type the most banal like requests, but Ashley takes those requests and she says them out loud in a way that, she goes beyond it, and in a way that makes you feel very seen and cared for, and I think it's the eclipse emotional today, but it just offered me so much solace, particularly over the summer, and just to know that there's a place to go where you're not alone, if your heart is heavy, or, I've prayed for clarity, or just like to get off my ass, and start doing things. It doesn't always have to be, heavy stuff. So I think, I think that is truly my favorite part of the Haven, and the pounding.
The anger work and the prayer circles. I love that you mentioned both of those so much, Anne, because those are really unique attributes that, whenever I look at creating anything, I'm always asking myself, like, okay, what's missing? What is needed? And I have been sitting in a really challenging threshold of initiation myself over the last year and a half, and realizing, like, after COVID, I don't even know if we can call it after, but we're even more isolated than maybe we had been before. And we kind of got used to it, but we really need each other. And so many of us, our sociology has shifted in the last couple of decades, and many people moved away from their family of origin, or they're not near their tribe, or we stopped going to maybe more formal church experiences and spiritual experiences. And there's a hole that our soul is missing, community being number one, and a really authentic spiritual practice, and doing that together. Of course, we have our own soul, solo spiritual practices, but doing things together to activate our own spiritual connection and to be witnessed and to be seen. Yes. We know that in psychology, one of the number one aspects that heal psychologically is what you said in the very beginning: to be witnessed, to hold space for other people, to see them. And Ruby mentioned this as well, in being vulnerable and being authentic, to really witness people in that. It shatters our shame. Mm-hmm. And that's one of Casey's lines, by the way. She said, I have to always quote her because she said shattering shame, which I love. Yeah. But when we're held and we're seen in that way, and we can express ourselves and really be vulnerable and be honest, it heals us, and it makes us feel not so alone. Because what can we really do, as you mentioned, Anne, when we're going through like really intense experiences in life, whether it's a loved one that's dying of cancer, or maybe our own medical journey, or, financial or depression, anxiety, like, what can we really do for each other? You can't necessarily relieve someone else's suffering, but you can join with them, and you can attune to them, and you can hold their hand through that, so we feel not so alone. And that's probably my greatest intention. The two core intentions are providing really practical, accessible tools for people to build more emotional and mental and physical skill sets. But the second one, and not less important, is building community and really having a rock solid community that I hope we continue to grow for years, maybe decades, and really are on this journey together. And then we add in, live events and different ways to meet each other in real life. And that's one of the great things that I love about the Haven, because we can go into the groups, and there's geolocation groups that you can meet up with people closer to you, and groups by yoga teachers or mental health professionals or parenting. And we're going to be building all of those out. So thank you for that. And the prayer circle especially is one of my favorite things. And by the way, for those of you watching, you can submit a prayer request at any time, day or night. And this is a really powerful way. You can also submit prayer requests that are anonymous, or you can ask for it not to be shared. You can submit it, without names or any details, or you can submit it with names and details and just ask me not to speak it out loud. And I'll still hold it in the prayer circle and I'll pray for it. But I won't share it with the whole group, or we can share with the whole group. And so those are really beautiful for us to come together. And we had a great prayer circle for both of you can join and maybe watch the recording from yesterday, of course, with everything that's happening right now in the world. A beautiful prayer circle after our new moon class yesterday. So, Anne, what else would you say to anyone that's thinking about or on the fence about joining the Haven membership, or where I'm curious where this kind of fits in to your overall self-care, yoga, spiritual wellness routine? Like, where does the Haven fit in for you?
Well, I, particularly in the summer, I was coming live. I prefer to come live if I can, because the recordings are great, and it's great to be able to do it if you can't make it at a certain time. But there is this feeling of a field, a little bit when you come live. So it just, it's funny. I'm so used to teach all over Portland, go a zillion different directions. And now I'm venturing back out, but I just like the accessibility of having it online when I want to do a yoga. Like, I know it's going to be a good yoga class. It's just kind of in line with, the type of yoga I like to do, both the more active as well as the restorative. So, it's easy, it's accessible, and it just, like I said, it gives focus to my self-development. I feel like maybe I'm always working on certain things, but it's nice to have a subject to engage in with other people, and I think if you're a yoga teacher, you don't have to be a yoga teacher, but just to, I'm going to speak as a yoga teacher. A lot of times, even if you do a 500-hour training, you may or may not get much philosophy. It really is dependent on both the thematic nature of your program as well as the quality. And so, I just like going deeper into, a lot of the concepts that you may know but haven't felt. So it's one thing to know something intellectually, it's another thing to feel it in your body. And I think that is what I find the Haven to be very good at, to come at it from three different ways: a physical practice, a meditation, and then just a simple takeaway tool with the self-inquiry. I think that's really my favorite. I have just notebooks of self-inquiries, and I go back and I'm just like, oh, wow, yeah, that's really interesting. The things that reveal when you're in a little, deeper state of relaxation, the unconscious really expresses itself.
I know. I love that you share that. I feel a journal coming. I feel like it's like, I have to collate all these self-inquiry practices so we can put it together and then have like a rhythm and themes for each month and the year. And like, I can really tell like the Haven is actually revealing itself so some of you might not know, but we launched on a different platform, sort of like a beta launch about a year and a half ago. And we've been building up a library and had a lot of kind of fits and starts. And we knew we were going to be moving to a new platform. We just recently did, and we're so happy. And it feels like it's beginning to reveal what it wants to be. And it's really exciting. So I love that you all are in on the ground floor too. By the way, for those of you watching, this is our founding members launch. And that means that your membership is $79 a month. That's 40% off of what will be the regular price, will be $127 a month, which is pretty much the going rate when you have live streams every week. You know, that's what Sean Korn is, and Rod Stryker and all these people on Union Fit. It's about $127 a month. So that's what our membership will be. But right now we're doing our founding member launch, and it's $79 a month for life. And you can, you have to join by Friday. We've also extended that deadline because we've been running into some tech issues on the back end with this launch. So we're just going to extend it in among everything else that's happening in the world, and just create a little space and not rush it. So you have this week to sign up for 40% off for life. So jump in, and you can cancel at any time if you wish to. So yay, we have Teresa here. I'm going to jump on, and Anne, you're welcome to stay, or you can jump off as you wish. But if you guys stay, I'll bring you all on at the end together. But no pressure. Thank you so much for being here. Yay, Teresa. So happy to see our OG member here, Teresa Jackson. She just got off a road trip and she's willing to jump on with us. Thank you, honey. Can you, I would love for you to share who you are, where you are, and just a little bit about you and why you joined the Haven.
And what was the last part?
And also why you joined the Haven.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, internet's a little spotty. I just got out of the car from a 7-hour car trip from the North Carolina coast to the North Carolina mountains. It's absolutely gorgeous here. Just got to the cabin, sat down, took a few breaths, and went, so it's amazing. Lovely to see your face and everyone else. Yes, so I am Teresa Jackson, and I live in at the beach in North Carolina, coastal North Carolina. Like I said, taking a trip with my hubby and my daughter and son-in-law this week. And yeah, why I joined the Haven. It is my one-stop healing center. It just has everything. And I am so aligned with all of the tools that Ashley has in the Haven. And I was thinking about this on the way up here as to, you know, what really, if I had to just really sum it up, it just puts everything together. And it's like, what I do is you can use each practice on its own, is standalone, and also you can put them together in any combination. It's kind of like that mix and match, you know, of whatever you're needing at a certain time. And that's how I use it. You know, wherever I am, I know that there is something somewhere in the Haven that can assist me, that can validate what I'm feeling, that can help me work through, take me to the next level, and remind me, you know, even things that you know, we've done before. I can go back and, oh yeah, I remember this. I need to get back on this, you know. And so the content is just incredible. And I've told you this so many times, and I've said this so many times, Ashley, that I just love the way you put everything together, because that is what works for me. You know, having all of the tools and using them. And it's wonderful too, to have that community. And that's been very important for me as well in building relationships. And I have a friend who is also in the Haven and, you know, has been with us for a while. And it's really nice because the Haven has helped me personally and with my own relationship, but it also has helped with other relationships. So with my friend, an example that we're planning a trip together, trying to decide on where we're gonna, trying to decide how we're gonna work things out, renting a car, where we're gonna stay. And when you're working through details like that with someone in a relationship, you have different thoughts, right? And so there were a few things that came up of where I was leaning this way, she was leaning this way, and we both were able to come together. And I was able to look at and really identify some of why I wanted this. Well, I want to rent a car because, let's see, okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I want the control of not having to depend on somebody else. That's a shadow thing of I want to make sure I have the freedom to go where I want to go, and when I want to go and explore. And her thing was the cost. And so we were able to be totally honest with each other and respect each other's feelings. So I was able to really say how I truly felt and why do I really feel this strongly? Okay, this is why. I was able to express it. She was able to hear it, express hers, and we were able to work through. And it's great. We've got it worked out. And so in the Haven of having those relationships in that community, and building them, and it really makes a difference when you can be with others who are also working on themselves and who are also committed to personal growth, to community. Because as we know, everybody in our life is not working on, some of the things that we are, and it makes those relationships a little bit harder. And so it's really nice. And I have just felt such a comfort. I know that I'm heard. I know that I'm being held. I know that it's okay to express and to say, hey, I'm feeling this, or hey, and to have that individuality and know that there will still be acceptance. And that is precious. That's really precious. I'm a relationship person anyway, so I go deep in all of my relationships. And but it's much easier and fulfilling and satisfying when you can form those bonds with others, no matter where they are. I feel like some of my closest friends from the Haven are people I've never actually ever met before face to face. And that's the beauty of it. But I know that they're there. And I had the wonderful opportunity. Oh, another thing real quick that is wonderful about the Haven is because we come from all over the world. And I also have connected with someone who is 3 hours away from where I live through the Haven. And we actually get together on a regular basis now. We drive to meet each other. We do practices together, rituals together, ceremonies together. And we've really developed. She's going to come. I'm actually going to go stay with her for a couple of days, in a few weeks. And it's nice because that relationship is already there. I don't have to worry about her. She's coming to my house too. And it's like, I don't have to worry about her coming to my house and everything have to be perfect, or I have to be, when you're like that, it's like, we already know each other and we're already at that deeper level. And so, I would have never met her if it hadn't been, through the Haven. And so, that's just been a really wow, it's really been wonderful to develop those relationships And then when you meeting her face to face, it's like, oh yeah, we just pick right back up, So, yeah. So just, yeah, relationships that are formed, the community, the relationship I've been able to have with myself, the relationship that I've been able to work through some things with my mother. So there's that also that family of origin work that we do, that is so beneficial, for me and mother-daughter relationship. I've been able to really, really work through some things. And yeah, just all of the practice. I love the wheel of the years. I love the full moon processing, the meditations, the Dharma talks, all of the series, So it has just been really a huge, huge impact in my life. To the point that my husband was like, I really want to get to the cabin so you can get your call because I know how important this is for you. So he's like, I want you to continue this. So, when other people in your life start seeing, changes and growth and, the joy, from all of these practices, okay, yeah, there's something here, so much gratitude for the Haven, just so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much. What would you say? What are your favorite parts of the Haven? So we have the new moon restorative, we have the full moon emotional processing and group support, obviously the online yoga meditation library, the wheel of the year rituals, prayer circle. Now we have the groups and connecting in the groups. What's been your favorite part?
I think for me personally, my favorite is the wheel of the year. Because that is, I love learning about that. I really, am learning how to open and close ceremony, how to, really, because I follow the moon cycles and and so this has taken me deeper. So, I really, really learned, a lot about that. And also tapping into the archetypes, and working with the deities has been really powerful for me. So I think that's probably my number one. And then I love the I love the full moon processing, and the Dharma talks and the meditation and all of it. But I guess kind of in that, in that order. So yeah.
And what would you say is different about particularly the online yoga and meditation from other, online yoga classes or memberships that you might have had?
I think it's the intimacy. It's the intimacy and the connection. It's like, oh, I'm going to go to a practice with my friends, or I'm gonna, that we have that intimacy. Yeah, and it all comes through. So I think that's one of the difference with that. And also too, the fact that it is all weaved in, the way that things are weaved in, that you'll take a theme and you will weave it into the meditation, you weave it into the Dharma talk and to the yoga, to the asana practice. And so it's not just like you just sign on, do a yoga class, and then you're done. There's a connection there to where it's almost like I've missed. Oh my gosh, I've missed. And I've missed it. It's not just that I missed yoga. I can, I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a meditation teacher. I can do that on my own, but there's that extra step of that connection, and feeling like, yeah, I'm with my tribe here. I'm with my peeps, So yeah, so that's what makes it different. That's what makes it different and very unique and very special. Yeah.
I love that so much, Teresa. I'm going to bring you guys all back on here. So we'll just wrap it up. But, and it's so nice to have you guys kind of get to meet each other and be on here together from all over, all sides of the country and Canada. So I would love for you to just each, if you have one more moment, like just talk about the new platform and that we're on this new platform and it's we don't have the mobile app is coming. The mobile app is coming the next week or two, but I have the test run of it. So I'm thinking we have it. It's so nice to have it in the palm of your hand on your phone. So I cannot wait for that to be released to you all, which is coming very soon. We're in the last stages to get it released by the Apple development team. But it's a beautiful platform. It's all synthesized. And so you have you can go to downloads, you can go to groups, you can go, by the way, for those of you watching, the online yoga meditation library is categorized into immersions. And so the way that I typically teach is longer immersions, like a 9-week immersion on the chakras, a 10-week immersion on the yamas niyamas, 9 weeks on yoga for emotional balance, 5 weeks on the kleshas. And each one of those weeks has yoga, meditation, mantra, mudra, pranayam. But tell me how you're liking the new app and just what features you're enjoying there. I'd love to hear. Ruby, you want to start?
So yesterday I went on it and I said, oh my gosh, everything now, it's like the YPS 300 is condensed in my phone. So I was so super excited just going through it. But like you said, the number one thing, I'm going home to the Philippines to actually do an ocular visit for the yoga retreat I'm going to teach from. And I was just like, okay, I can take my practices with me and not worry about, do I need a laptop? Do I need this? And so I'm just really waiting for Jordan to say, hey, the app's ready. So the portability of it, also because I'm going from one island to another, I'm just so super stoked and actually so excited to share this with other yoga teacher friends that I have back home. So I am just immensely grateful that this actually launched the same time that I was actually going to go on a trip. So thank you for that. I'm super excited, and how it's everything can just be categorized, and I can pick and choose the things I need for myself and the things I need to share to others, and just really share the practices that you've taught me over the years, because you've just been a great mentor to me. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yay. All right, Anne.
I love the groups, and I think that the possibility for those is really endless. I would love a group just of accountability cohorts of comrades, who if we're all working on creating things, which I imagine we are, just to have someone to check in and say, hey, yeah, last week you said you were going to finish, just gentle nudging. I think that would be incredible. And also just, groups around specific spiritual topics, whether it's dealing with end of life, or just the loneliness. Sometimes I think maybe was it you, Teresa, was talking about, when you're on this road of spiritual development, it's true. I mean, a lot of times you do feel like you're disconnected from the world, which basically operates in ego. So just to have more opportunities to talk with people who are, not so not so above you that you can't relate, but who are really trying to do this, really trying to make progress on the spiritual path in a meaningful way and bring it into the world. I think that the Haven itself, I know it's not exclusively for women, but it does have a very feminine feel to it. And I personally really love that. I hope that was okay, because I know it's not just women.
I love that. Yeah, 99.9%, but we have a couple men in there, which I'm excited, and we welcome all genders, of course, and all sexual identities and gender identities. And but it does have a feminine feel. And my intention with the way we built it out was to have it be really zen and spacious and calming to the nervous system. So when you log on, it's hopefully there's a soothing effect. That was part of my intention with the aesthetics of it. Teresa, how are you liking the new platform? You've been with us from the very beginning on the old platform. And
I love it. And first of all, let me add that what she was just talking about is also to, give yourself credit for you're up here, and yes, there's people that are way up here, but also to the growth and the elevation, we all elevate. I love that as far as grouping together, and we do support each other, and we can understand each other, and know where we're coming from, and assist each other and help, and just walk with each other, sit with each other, and be and hold space, which is amazing. The site is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. You guys have done a fantastic job. Everything is all together. So you go on and it's like, oh, wow, what do I need? I need this. I need this today. And that's what I find when I was talking earlier. Some days I might need just a meditation. Some days I might need to go back and, review some of the yamas, because let me go back and do that again. Sometimes I do want, a specific yoga class with a specific theme or specific chakra, whatever it is. So I like the way that it's laid out. It's very user friendly. It is just everything is there. All of the information is there. And so it gives me, in looking at all of it, it gives me that confidence, if you will, to know that, I'm not alone in whatever I'm going through. And even, all I have to do is flip out my phone and say, oh, let me check this out. I'm feeling this way, or I need this, just pull it out and boom, it's there. So I'm really excited about getting the app and everything, and just having it on my phone, and just, it's just everything all together, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. So many things that, you can look at, you can do, you can connect with 24/7. So, yeah.
Yay. Well, thank you all so much. I'm so grateful. It's so good to see you all and connect sort of in person. Anyone that's watching, you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Please DM me. Send us an email, info@ashleyturner.org. Again, this is our founding member launch for the Haven, and you get 40% off for life, however long you're a member. And we would love to welcome you inside. We have hundreds of members right now, and we're just beginning, and we're so excited. Thank you so much, Ruby and Anne and Teresa. I love you all so much. And I can't wait to see you soon and live in person. That's the other thing. We're going to be rolling out more and more live events around. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Mhm.
Bye, Ashley.
Bye, honey. Take care.
Thank you. It's so
You
wonderful seeing you. I cannot wait to see you soon.
I know.
We're
So
all
soon.
set.
I know. I can't wait to see you in Topanga. Yay. All right, honey. Have a great
Yes.
week.
Yes.
All right. So those of you that are still with us, here's a quick and dirty reminder of exactly what you get. So the Haven is our monthly membership. This is your hub for online yoga, meditation, mental, emotional health, spiritual connection, and very deep community. So for those of you who are looking for, as you can see, a really rich community of, people who are seriously committed to their path and to their awakening and to incorporating yoga psychology and empowerment and shadow work, this is the place for you. We welcome you to join us. We have an on-demand library of over 200 classes that you can choose from. Those are guided meditations, mantras, core work classes, yoga, of course, vinyasa yoga, restorative yoga. Then every single quarter, you get a new challenge, and that is a new immersion. And that immersion is a deeper dive that really takes you through. It's a mini course, basically a series of classes around a certain theme. So we'll be going into the 8 limbs of yoga. We'll go into, an immersion on shadow work in yoga. Our next immersion is the yamas and niyamas, which starts on Monday. And Then, so that's the immersion that you get. And you can go into the library and search either by immersion and go through all the chakras, or you can go into the library and just search randomly, like you want a meditation or you want a yoga practice. And it's this amount of time that you have available. So you get a quarterly immersion. You also get a quarterly challenge. So we have a free challenge that we offer every quarter, but you get access to the VIP version of that, which is coaching with me around a certain theme. So we have shadow work in yoga. We have a chakra challenge. We have our yoga for emotional balance challenge. And we right now are finishing our yamas challenge, living the yamas challenge. So all of those trainings are added to your library every quarter as well. So essentially every week you're getting a new tier of classes rolled out. Oh my goodness, this light always makes me yawn. And then you also have every new moon, which we just had. We have a restorative yoga practice and a pranayama practice. Every full moon, which Anne was talking about, we have our emotional processing and anger work and group support call, which is really that emotional release work, mental emotional health rinsing. Emotional rinsing is what I call it. Then we have our Wheel of the Year, which is our priestess trainings. So every 6 weeks, based on the 8 high holy days of the year, we come together in ritual and ceremony. So there's a lot here. You're going to have many different dimensions of your practice, along with the groups and the community and the integration. So I would love to have you join us inside. This is really the next generation of rethinking of what's possible in online yoga, that it is not just alone in your living room doing yoga by yourself, but it is really a tightly knit community that is here to uphold you, to get to know you, to share, to hear your stories multiple times during the month. Almost every week we come together and we got you, we're with you. Then you also have downloadable resources and workbooks. And those are going to be building out over the next years, but you have over 300 pages of worksheets and workbooks that you get automatically. So jump on in. This is our founding member launch and it ends very soon. You get 40% off. I'll see you on the inside. Let me know if you have any questions. You can DM me or email us info@ashleyturner.com.